Most men fear being alone, not because solitude is dangerous, but because it exposes something they've been avoiding. Without noise, without people, without distraction, they are left with themselves, and that terrifies them. This fear quietly controls their decisions. They stay in weak relationships. They tolerate disrespect. They compromise principles, not because they want to, but because solitude feels worse. This is how power leaks. Men who are comfortable being alone do not experience this pressure. They are not rushed by loneliness. They are not softened by fear of abandonment. They are not controlled by the need to belong. This makes them dangerous, because anyone who needs people can be moved by them. Approval becomes leverage. Attention becomes currency. Acceptance becomes control. Most men do not realize how often their choices are shaped by this. They speak when silence would be stronger. They explain when distance would be wiser. They stay when walking away would restore balance. Men who are comfortable alone do none of this. They do not cling. They do not chase. They do not negotiate their self-worth for connection. They understand something fundamental. Connection that requires self-betrayal is not connection. It is submission. Men who are comfortable alone have already paid the cost most men avoid. They have sat with themselves long enough to know who they are. They have faced boredom. They have faced discomfort. They have faced doubt without seeking escape. This creates self-containment. Self-contained men are impossible to manipulate emotionally. You cannot threaten abandonment to a man who is complete alone. You cannot rush a man who does not fear silence. You cannot bait a man who does not need validation. This changes every interaction. In conversations, they speak less. In negotiations, they wait longer. In conflict, they remain calm. Others feel this difference immediately. It creates imbalance because most people rely on emotional exchange to feel grounded. When one side does not, the other side begins to leak. They overtalk, they overshare, they reveal insecurity. The man who is comfortable alone gains information without effort. Information is power. This is why powerful men throughout history isolated deliberately, not because they hated people, but because isolation removes influence. Influence disappears when access disappears. Men who are comfortable alone do not fear losing people. They fear losing alignment. Alignment is the foundation of strength. Most men invert this. They sacrifice alignment to preserve connection. This is why they feel weak, restless, and unstable. Men who are comfortable alone never make this trade. They would rather be alone than compromised. That decision alone changes hierarchy. People sense it. They become careful. Careful behavior preserves respect. Respect creates authority. Authority attracts power. Men who are comfortable alone also understand timing. They do not rush intimacy. They do not rush trust. They do not rush alliances. They allow others to reveal consistency over time. Time exposes intention. Most people cannot maintain masks indefinitely. Men who are comfortable alone do not need immediate connection, so they wait. Waiting filters people.
The impatient reveal dependency. The manipulative reveal strategy. The insecure reveal urgency. The man who is comfortable alone watches calmly. He chooses deliberately. This makes his relationships few but powerful. Most men build wide networks. Powerful men build narrow circles. Men who are comfortable alone also understand silence. Silence is not absence. Silence is pressure. When a man does not fill silence, others rush to fill it. They explain, they justify, they reveal motive. The man who is comfortable alone does not interrupt this. He listens. Listening creates leverage. This is why solitude is not weakness. It is preparation. Men who fear being alone never develop inner stability. They outsource emotional regulation to others. They need reassurance. They need presence. They need reaction. Men who are comfortable alone regulate internally. This makes them steady. Steady men feel immovable, and immovable men are respected. This is the foundation.
Men who are comfortable being alone understand a truth most men never face. Dependency is the root of control. The moment a man needs someone to feel stable, that person gains leverage over him. Most men live inside quiet dependencies. They need conversation to regulate emotion. They need presence to avoid discomfort. They need reassurance to maintain confidence. These needs are invisible, but they are exploitable. Men who are comfortable alone remove these pressure points. They do not require constant interaction to feel grounded. They do not seek distraction to escape internal tension. They do not depend on others to validate identity. This independence changes power dynamics immediately. When a man does not fear isolation, he cannot be threatened with it. Threats lose power without fear. This is why men who are comfortable alone are difficult to pressure. They do not rush decisions to preserve connection. They do not compromise standards to avoid silence. They do not accept disrespect to keep access. They are willing to walk away. Willingness to walk away is the ultimate leverage. Most men say they could walk away. Few actually can. Men who are comfortable alone prove it through behavior. They leave when alignment disappears. They pause when clarity is missing. They delay when something feels rushed. They do not explain these choices emotionally. They simply act. This confuses people, because most people expect negotiation. They expect pleading. They expect justification. They expect emotional bargaining. When none comes, insecurity appears. Insecurity causes people to reveal themselves. They chase, they overcompensate, they seek reassurance. The man who is comfortable alone does not reward this. He maintains distance. Distance creates value. Scarcity increases attention. Attention shifts power. This is why solitude creates gravity. Men who are comfortable alone also see relationships clearly. They do not confuse closeness with compatibility. They do not confuse frequency with loyalty. They do not confuse familiarity with trust. They wait. Waiting exposes intention. People who want access for control become impatient. People who want alignment remain consistent. The man who is comfortable alone observes quietly. He does not rush intimacy. He allows time to do the filtering. Time reveals character better than emotion ever could. This patience frustrates manipulative personalities. Manipulation requires urgency. Urgency collapses under patience. Men who are comfortable alone break manipulation simply by refusing to hurry. This applies everywhere: business, leadership, negotiation, relationships. The side that can wait always wins. Men who fear being alone cannot wait. They rush decisions to avoid discomfort. Discomfort is their enemy. Men who are comfortable alone use discomfort as a tool. They let it exist. They let silence stretch. They let uncertainty remain unresolved. This unsettles others. Most people try to resolve tension immediately. They talk too much. They concede too early. They reveal too much. The man who is comfortable alone collects information. Information is leverage. Leverage creates control. Men who are comfortable alone also avoid emotional exhaustion. They do not manage multiple emotional obligations. They do not maintain connections out of guilt. They do not stay available to protect feelings. This preserves energy. Energy becomes focus. Focus becomes execution. Execution creates outcomes. Outcomes attract respect. Over time, people learn something important. This man does not need them. This realization flips hierarchy. Those who are not needed work harder to be relevant. Men who are comfortable alone never chase relevance. They remain internally anchored. This anchor stabilizes everything around them. Stability creates authority. Authority attracts power. This is the second truth. Men who are comfortable being alone eventually reach a level where control becomes effortless. They do not demand respect. They do not ask for loyalty. They do not chase alignment. They let reality decide. People feel it immediately. There is no emotional pressure coming from this man, no neediness, no urgency, no fear of loss. That absence creates imbalance. Most people rely on emotional exchange to feel stable. When one side does not, the other begins to adjust. They slow down. They choose words carefully. They hesitate before pushing boundaries, not because they are afraid of aggression, but because they sense independence. Independence changes hierarchy. A man who does not need others cannot be controlled by them. There is no abandonment threat, no social leverage, no emotional bargaining chip. This makes manipulation impossible. Manipulation requires access. Access disappears when attachment disappears. Men who are comfortable being alone do not isolate from weakness. They isolate from influence. They choose solitude when clarity is required. Clarity sharpens judgment. Judgment determines outcomes. Most men avoid solitude because it exposes internal instability. Men who embrace it resolve that instability privately. They build internal order before engaging externally. This internal order radiates outward. Others feel it.
They feel grounded in comparison. They feel reactive next to stillness. Stillness becomes intimidating, not because it is loud, but because it cannot be moved. Men who are comfortable being alone also understand the cost of association. Every relationship demands energy. Every connection creates obligation. Every attachment introduces influence. They choose carefully. They do not collect people. They select alignment. This makes their circle small but powerful. People inside that circle feel chosen. People outside feel excluded. Exclusion increases value. Value shifts power. This is why powerful men are often misunderstood. They are called distant, cold, detached. In reality, they are disciplined. They do not disperse attention emotionally. They focus it deliberately. Focus produces mastery. Mastery produces confidence. Confidence without need produces authority. Authority attracts opportunity. Opportunity compounds. Men who are comfortable being alone also do not collapse under loss. They do not panic when connections end. They do not spiral when alliances dissolve. They do not chase closure. They move forward. Forward motion signals strength. Strength discourages challenge. Over time, people stop testing men who do not flinch at separation. They learn that emotional pressure will not work. They conserve energy. They comply quietly. This is how solitude creates fear without aggression. Fear rooted in inevitability. The sense that this man will be fine with or without you. That realization is destabilizing to dependent minds. Men who are comfortable being alone are also comfortable being misunderstood. They do not correct narratives emotionally. They do not explain intentions publicly. They do not defend identity. They let outcomes speak. Outcomes rewrite narratives. Silence accelerates this process. Most men talk to control perception. Men who are comfortable being alone let results do it. Results are irrefutable. This is why solitude is not isolation, it is insulation. It protects internal alignment from external noise. Alignment creates consistency. Consistency builds trust. Trust consolidates power. The final truth is simple. Men who are comfortable being alone are unstoppable because nothing essential can be taken from them. No approval, no attention, no presence. They have already removed dependency, and without dependency, there is no control. Welcome to PowerMind Coded. Stop fearing silence. Stop running from solitude. Stop trading alignment for connection. Build internal stability. Choose solitude when needed. Engage only from strength. Because the men who are comfortable being alone are the men no one can control.